What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the full teams for this weekend, as well as looking at our final trades and potential final trades for your team as well. So let's get into this. So the Sunday teams, okay. Cousins and Bramble are in. So Bramble's a debutant, 102k defender, I believe. So Warple's been suspended. Morrison hamstring. This is really good for Newcombe. Now, a little bit of backstory with Newcombe is, if you haven't heard, we all thought he was out. We saw him named in the Resi's team and we were like, hang on, this could be a problem. Turns out they had named like a lot of Resi's players, or there was something that made it so he wasn't 100% in the Resi's, but we all had a bit of a scare. We're thinking, how could he possibly, after coming in, breaking the rookie record for tackles, how could he possibly be dropped after that? Especially with Warple being suspended. Like, it made no sense whatsoever to have probably your third best mid, or your second best mid even, behind Mitchell, dropped. So, I don't know. And also they won. So, Clarko was about to cop a nice tweet, I think, or a nice Instagram message. But no, it was all good. So, Zerk Thatcher is in, Devon Smith in, Draper, Wright and Cahill in. Pretty sure this Ned Cahill guy is a rookie. I don't think he's really relevant. Yeah, 161k forward. Averages the 26. That's pathetic. Okay. Phillips dropped. Ambrose dropped. McGrath out with a knee. So this is good for Langford owners. Really good for Langford owners. Zaharakis really wasn't playing. I think he was a medical sub anyway. I know Ambrose was. Waterman's out, so he's pretty relevant. And France has been managed. So I'm not going to talk about the Thursday night teams just tonight because there's no real point. We're not going to go through them, but we'll still talk about them. So, Kieran Briggs is, I think, the only rookie that's been named this week, besides this debutant. So Bramble. So him and Briggs and Bramble, sorry, I'm stuttering my words today, I don't know why, but those two are the only rookies that we have on the cards for this weekend, which is really frustrating. It makes it almost impossible to downgrade. So for me, my situation, I'm only going to do the one trade, and that be Poulter to Langford. And that's just a simple upgrade with 167k in the bank. So we'll talk about my team for a second here, and then we'll talk about trading in general. So for me, I was considering trading Brayshaw, as you guys saw in the round review, or the trade targets video. I'm not sure if that's a good idea at this point, just only because I've only got 7 trades left. If I had more trades, then I'd be like, yep, let's go. Brayshaw, you're out. I'll bring in a Bont or something. But unfortunately, it's not suitable to get Brayshaw out this week if I want to get to full primo. I still think it's going to be tight getting to full primo with the 3 upgrades. So we're going to get rid of Jones, Highmore, and Waitman. Impey, unfortunately, is going to have to be a keeper. At this point, I'm hoping he just gets his old role back. People are saying he's lost his role. I don't even know if he has. Like, he just looked really bad. But I'm hoping Impey gets his role back if he's lost it and he starts scoring again. But I'm not going to write him off just yet, especially with forwards the way they are. It's very unpredictable how the forwards score week in, week out. So I'm thinking Impey is just going to have to be a hold for now. I know a lot of trading him out. I don't know if that's a good idea. Just because, like, if you've got like 15 trades or 10 to 15 trades, maybe, yeah, fair enough. If you really don't feel confident in him, trade him out. But for me, I'm pretty happy with him at this point, averaging 89. It's much better than having a McRae on the field or someone like that. So even a Kieran Briggs. So people are bringing in Briggs, but his scoring is terrible. Like, he's played one game, scored 42. I just don't like his role. Like, he's a key defender, I believe, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about this Bramble kid, so I can see why people are jumping on him just for the fact that we need players this week. Do I jump on him? He's at what position is he? He's a mid only. See, I've already got a stacked mid. So I've got Newcombe and Edwards on the midfield bench. It would be so sideways to trade. Yeah, I don't see myself trading in Bramble just because I don't have enough trades. I mean, is he going to make that much money? How's his job security? Is he only in because Warple's out? Like, this is the thing. I'm going to wait and see. If he's had 2 good games, 2 60-plus games, then I'll consider bringing him in on that bubble week. But other than that, I don't think I can afford to bring him in with the lack of trades I have. So let's talk about sort of just rambling on a bit tonight. I wanted to sort of just get on here and just sort of vent about SuperCoach and just brainstorm and let everything out and just sort of discuss things, because I'm not so confident with this trade, being my only trade this week. I'm if you know me, I usually use all my trades. It's not good, but I like to rush to full premium and then hope my players don't get injured. But I think this is about all I can do this week. We can't afford to trade Jones because he's playing this week. Highmore's got a low break even of -2. Wouldn't surprise me if he didn't break that, to be honest. And then like Waitman's obviously playing. Poulter was the only one really that was kind of peaked out, and I don't even know if he fully was. Like I think he still had a reasonably low break even, 38. So he definitely would have scored more. But like I said in the other video, I don't think he's going to be making much more money. He might get 350k, but I don't see Poulter going any higher than that. Sorry, I didn't realize my camera was off the side, off the wall. But yeah, so talking about players like Oliver. So Clayton Oliver, I'm not sure why people are trading him out. I know a lot are. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, yes, he's got the buy. Yes, he's top dollar. But why would you trade him? Because you know you're going to want him for finals. He's an absolute must-have in your midfield if you really want to do well. He's a captain option every week. I know he didn't have a good game last week, but man, he's just a lock. So I don't see why trading him out is good. I know people want to get players this week. I think it's not a bad idea to sacrifice if you can. For me, I traded in my players over the last 3 or 4 rounds or 5 rounds, knowing that this buy was going to be hard, and I'm only going to field 15, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And my opponent in my main league has got 11, so that's really good. So you got to sort of weigh up whether you're playing for rankings or league at this point. For me, sitting at 3,000, I'm definitely more focused on my league. It hurts me to say that because I always want to be up there for rankings, but it just hasn't gone right this year. Neil, Cripps and Daniel, starting with those 3, trading in Williams. Why did I do that? Like, a lot of mistakes to learn from this year, but yeah, I think the team's in decent shape, and after the buys, it should really take a good ride home, because I haven't settled for little premiums like Williams and like I have Brayshaw, but he's pretty much the only one. Ridley, is he even a premium now? I don't know. But in terms of my mids, like Oliver, McRae, Miller, Steele, Lyons, Merritt and Walsh, they're all uber premiums for sure. All averaging over 110. You know what you're going to get week in, week out from them. So I'm happy with that. I've got the 2 best rucks in the comp. I've held Grundy. I think Grundy, we'll talk about Grundy for a second. So he is, I'm pretty sure, back next week. I think he's going to have a really big second half of the year. Players like Grundy, sometimes it's good if they have a rest, have a couple of weeks off, because their bodies take a big toll. Ruckman's, especially the way he plays, he relies a lot on endurance and fitness, and having a break, Grundy, I feel like he will really come home strong, with a lot of energy in all the games. So that's a good thing about holding Grundy. And the thing with Nick Nat, I know everyone's like, oh, you just get Nick Nat instead. The people who actually traded in Nick Nat for that week, they kind of have been hurt by the fact that Nick Nat's buy got moved to Grundy's, because that was part of the luxury with trading in Nick Nat, was that he didn't have that dreaded round 14 buy. But now that he has that buy, it's kind of like I think that was really sideways trade. I mean, yeah, he's had great scores in those 2 games, but I still think it was sideways. So people trading out Bianco, I'm not sure why. He's definitely not made enough money. That's a really desperate trade if you're doing that. I don't think it's a good idea at all. But trading out Zorko, there's no point trading him out this week. If you're going to trade him out, you should have traded him out 2 weeks ago. Grundy, yeah, we talked about him. Highmore's got the break even at -2. I mean, hopefully he's turned the corner and can give us, a couple of 80s, 90s, maybe another 100 plus if we're lucky. But I'm not going to put my house on it, that's for sure. I think he's got 111 and he averages 58. He's only played about 3 games or 4 games, so 5 games. But yeah, in terms of vice captain and captain this week, I think Bont Guthrie and McRae are the best vice-captain options. And for captain, I would look at a Josh Kelly against Carlton, if you have him. That's a really, really good one. A Tom Mitchell against Essendon should go big. But yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if one of Bont and McRae they're going to probably go 150 each. I know it's at the category? Wow, okay. So that must be the first game in Victoria for a while. Anyway, and Dangerfield's another one. So we got to keep our eye on Dangerfield tonight. We need to see something from him because he just hasn't showed us much at all. I mean, averaging 77.7. I don't see him averaging that for the course of the season, obviously. But, man, he hasn't looked good, that's for sure. Just sort of floating around, goes missing. It wasn't good at all. But with the break-even of 191, I think he gets to 450k-ish, even if he goes huge tonight. Not this week, he gets to 450k, but I'm predicting maybe a 120 from Danes tonight. He loves the category and goes big down there, but the thing is, his break-even is so high. So anyone trading him in this week, it's just stupid. Another player to keep an eye on is Matt Rao. So for me, my team is done in terms of the midfield. But look at this guy. So he's got the break-even of 237. He's projected to drop $78,000 next week. If we go to the bits where they're all projected, what do we find out? The projected price changes. Okay. So he's projected to drop to 340. Okay, let's be a bit realistic with Rao. So he's going to get to 380k. So he's going to be, 380k in 2 weeks. Wow. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. We know how talented he is. He did struggle that first game. Didn't look at home at all. Someone said he had a low time on ground. I'm not actually sure about that. But, yeah, he really didn't look good at all. Don't think he got a lot of mid-time, though. So hopefully he's going to be fine. But he's definitely someone, if you don't have that mid-8 locked in yet, I would definitely be keeping an eye on Matt Rao. For this week, I'm pretty sure that is it for the trade targets. Obviously, the vice-captain is going to be a little bit difficult this week with no Gawn and no Grundy. But I hope everyone has a good round. I'm going with the vice on McRae tonight, and I'm going to captain... Am I captaining Tuke Miller against Port? Jared Lyons against North, I think, is probably a little better. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Alrighty, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the Sunday night round review.